hayat dunya, can he be compared to the one that we gave a lot to? Sure, we did. Matta'at, to give somebody a lot. To give somebody a lot of luxury. To hook them up. For them to have a good life. But mata'al hayat dunya. What kind of luxury? Utilities, utensils of worldly life. You think these guys are the same? ثُمَّ هُوَ يَوْمَ الْقِيَامَةِ مِنَ الْمُحْضَرِينَ. And then, on the day of resurrection, on the day of standing, he's been made from those who's made to stand. مِنَ الْمُحْضَرِينَ. Those who are made to, they're made to be presented in front of someone. In other words, they're made to get in line for the audit. Okay, so what did you enjoy? Let's see. How much did you thank Allah for it? What means did you earn it with? You know how audits can be painful because they go through every penny? Right? The Prophet ﷺ warns a wealthy Sahabi, who was extremely wealthy. And he warned him, you are one of those guaranteed paradise, but you're one of the last to enter. You're going to enter way after everybody else. And he got worried. Why? Because you're really well off and you have a lot to answer for. So the entire accounting has to be finished before you can make your way in. SubhanAllah. So, هُوَ يَوْمَ الْقِيَامَةِ مِنَ الْمُحْضَرِينَ. وَيَوْمَ يُنَادِيهِمْ. And this is of course not referring to the believers in this particular ayah, it's referring to the disbelievers, who all they enjoyed was worldly life, and now they're made to stand and say, okay, well, fine, I gave you what I gave you in this world. Well, how did you prepare for the next? What savings did you make? وَيَوْمَ يُنَادِيهِمْ فَيَقُولُ أَيْنَ شُرَكَائِي. The day on which he's going to call them. Then he's going to say to them, so first he's going to call them by name, and now they get terrified. And then he's going to say, so I have a question for you. أَيْنَ شُرَكَائِي. Where are those partners of mine? Where are all these other godly entities that were supposed to come and save you? Because, as we will learn in Surah Al-Ankabut, something really peculiar. Allah asked them a bunch of questions at the end of the next surah. Who created the skies and the earth? Who feeds you? And the answer continually coming from people that do shirk, the idol-worshipping mushrikun, the continuous answer is Allah, Allah, Allah. What? You believe Allah? You believe Allah does that? Yeah, sure we do. Of course. They called on Allah. Their idea was, we have these other sub-gods that we have good connections with because God is way too big. God is way too powerful, way too high for us to have a connection with Him. So we need some intermediate connections. I mean, to visualize that, you're a small employee in a company and you don't have connections to the CEO, but I mean, your uncle's a manager. So you're good with the manager, and if any trouble comes down from the CEO, who can cover for you? Your uncle can. Somebody can come in between. That's the idea. So Allah says, so where are these connections you had? These people that you used to call on other than myself, شُرَكَائِي الَّذِينَ كُنْتُمْ تَزْعُمُونَ. Those that you used to have so much confidence in. Zu'um is actually baseless confidence. When you are really confident in something or someone, but it's not based on anything, and you're really hoping they're going to come through for you. This is zu'um. الْقَوْلُ مِنْ غَيْرِ صِحَّةٍ وَلَا يَقِينٍ. Also means when you say something out of zu'um, you're saying something that doesn't have any foundation. It's not really good. Nor are you yourself convinced. وَهُوَ مَذْمُومٌ فِي الْقُرْآنِ دَائِمًا. Every time it comes in the Qur'an, it comes in a bad connotation. It's never used in a positive sense. It's always salbi, it's always negative. قَالَ الَّذِينَ حَقَّ عَلَيْهِمُ الْقَوْلُ. Then those upon whom the word of Allah had manifested, and they deserve that Allah would speak to them this way, that's what it implies. رَبَّنَا هَؤُلَاءِ الَّذِينَ أَغْوَيْنَاهُمْ كَمَا غَوَيْنَا. They said, our Master, though these are the ones that we misled. أَغْوَيْنَا. In other words, the shuraka, the idols, are the ones that deluded them. But they themselves were leaders. They were themselves that were engineers that made sure that the idols were manufactured and placed over there. They're the ones who came up with the days of the festivals for those idols, those leaders of the towns. Why do you think Allah goes after the leaders of towns or the capital cities? Because they create the entire culture of shirk. They're the ones in charge of it. The main temples are over there. So He says, we're the ones, yeah, we misled people. أَغْوَيْنَاهُمْ. So these gods are the ones, they misled, and then we misled the people. كَمَا غَوَيْنَا, just like we ourselves were misled. So they were saying, yeah, we were the causes of misleading, and we didn't mislead others. We misled the entire population. Because they saw us as the intelligent ones, the educated ones, the one of elite status. So whatever we do must be based on good reason. People had assumptions about us that, why would we do something that doesn't make sense? People put that trust in us generally. And so yeah, we misled people, we misled them just as we ourselves were misled. See, we didn't have to answer to anybody. Nobody came to us and say, explain to us your behavior. People didn't ask us that. We were too elite for us to be questioned like that. And when people try to question us like that, like your messengers, we just say, who do you think you are? You know, basharun mithluna, you're just a human being like us. All the people that follow you as aradhiluna, the lower class hangs out with you. Why are you coming here talking to us? Tabarra'na ilayk. We are cutting ourselves off from all of those people that we misled and all of those that misled us. We want to cut ourselves off from all of them in your presence. وَمَا كَانُوا إِيَّانَا نَعْبُدُونَ. And they didn't used to worship us. They weren't engaged in our worship. وَمَا كَانُوا إِيَّانَا يَعْبُدُونَ. They weren't worshipping us at all. وَقِيلَ ادْعُوا شُرَكَاءَكُمْ. And then it said to them, call on your false gods. First he asked them, where are they? You don't even see them? Well, if you don't see someone, what do? You call them. Call your false gods. فَادْعُوهُمْ فَدَعُوهُمْ. So because they're forced by Allah, they will be calling on those false gods, adding to their humiliation. فَلَمْ يَسْتَجِيبُوا لَهُمْ. Then they won't even begin to respond to them. وَرَأُوا الْعَذَابَ. Then they're all going to see the punishment. وَلَوْ أَنَّهُمْ كَانُوا يَهْتَدُونَ. Had they only been committed to guidance, how hard was it? How hard was it that they could have avoided this humiliation? وَيَوْمَ يُنَادِيهِمْ فَيَقُولُ مَاذَا أَجَبْتُمُ الْمُرْسَلِينَ. The day on which he'll call them again. And he's going to say, okay, so those gods didn't respond to you. Let's talk about your responses. How did you respond to those that were sent to you? What was the responses you gave to the messengers that were sent to al-Mursaleen, those who have been sanctioned to deliver you a message? فَعَمِيَتْ عَلَيْهِمُ الْأَنْبَاءُ يَوْمَئِذٍ. Then the events, the news have been blinded from them. In other words, they don't even know what's coming ahead. They have no idea what terrors lie ahead of them. And they're just in complete shock of what's about to come. فَهُمْ لَا يَتَسَاءَلُونَ. And you know when you don't know what's coming, and you hear the rattling and the loud roar of hellfire, and you're about to be thrown in it, but you don't even know because you've been blinded from those news, then the least you would do is, hey, do you hear that? What is that? Where are we going? Why are they taking us over there? At least you'd ask around, but on the day of judgment, فَهُمْ لَا يَتَسَاءَلُونَ. They're not going to even have the ability to ask one another, what's going on, man? Where are we being taken? It's very natural when human beings hear something scary or know that something scary is coming, but they can't see it. They're blinded. The news are blinded from them. Then you know what they do? They ask about it. One of my kids, even the younger one, still has that. You just drag a chair. He goes, Abba, what's that sound? He gets worried. But they won't be able to ask. And this is actually directly connected. This ayah is directly connected to an entire surah that it sprouts. Surah Al-Naba. Surah Al-Naba. عَمَّا يَتَسَاءَلُونَ عَنِ النَّبَأِ الْعَظِيمِ. This Naba and Tasa'ul comes in the same ayah again there. Same exact thing. Why? Because there, the Naba, this thing that they don't know what's coming ahead, was told to them way in advance, and they were reminded of it over and over and over again. And they ask each other as a joke, and Allah in this surah takes away the ability to ask each other. فَهُمْ لَا يَتَسَاءَلُونَ. فَأَمَّا مَنْ تَابَ وَآمَنَ وَعَمِلَ صَالِحًا. Then as for the one who repented and revived their faith, as though someone who makes tawbah, it's as though they just came to iman all over again, clean slate. وَعَمِلَ صَالِحًا. And he acted righteously. فَعَسَىٰ أَنْ يَكُونَ مِنَ الْمُفْلِحِينَ. Then hopefully, there's a chance that he may become from those who have attained success. Why asa? Why possibly? Why not absolutely guaranteed? Because whoever made tawbah, whoever acted righteously, whoever revived their faith, it doesn't mean they died in that state. It just means they made that change in their life, they repented, and they tried to become a better person, but it does not guarantee they fell back into their old ways again. So just because you've become from those people, don't assume for yourself that you have guaranteed salvation before Allah. You're not saved necessarily. You have to still stay on guard. You have to watch out for yourself.